It is September 15th. We got a show today. We are talking about raptors. Let's get going. Oh, here she comes. It's time for video check-in. Don't hit the lights. What is wrong with you? To my left, co-host, chickenista, chicken expert, Kristen. Today is going to be an awesome show. Look at goosebumps.
Coyotes are everywhere.
What's going on, Kristen?
Oh, I was just getting my chicken poop necklace on.
Can I get some? Someone's already pooped. Ingrid's like doing her job. Ask and you may receive. Ingrid is on it.
Don't blame it on me.
Oxygen is the solution to foul odors.
I just felt it on my back. It's warm and oh, God.
I knew I was going to have serious problems that, like, the coop remained that much better than the house forever.
The coop is beautiful, by the way. I'm not trying to plug your products by any means.
Please do.
Lipstick, give me a makeup kit. You know, I'll be nice and pretty for the crows.
Oh, so let's pull out another chicken. This is like a magic trick. Up to 1 o'clock already. Oh my God. We have a new Ingrid.
Memo. I missed the memo.
Know a lot of people who do raise rabbits alongside their chickens.
Why would you wait till the last minute to pull out your homework?
Have we met before?
Yep, that's a good one with the cords and everything.
This falls right off, and he regrows a new one the following spring.
Calm down, Matt. Calm down.
Why?
This is a really interesting show.
Oh, it's, see?
Yeah.
My fault. I love it. Cindy, you just earned yourself a shirt. I love that.
Yes, Matt, you are right.
I had no idea what to expect when we opened up that box. And this is why we love what we do.
That's my goal, is to really bring people together through chickens.
The power of chickens.
So-
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Video Chicken Live. As I said earlier in the beginning of the show, it is September 15th. Is that correct? Are you guys messing with me?
No, I know.
We are halfway through September already.
Yeah.
That is scary. It is Friday. We are live. How you doing today, Kristen?
I'm doing great. This show is just it marks the passing of time, is what I've said.
Dude, it's starting to freak me out.
Otherwise, you would never say today is.
It is just so. How are we? I thought it was still August, to be honest with you. I got issues. Also, Ingrid.
You got issues. You can say that
Ingrid,
again.
how are you doing today, Ingrid?
I'm all right.
We're so happy to see you as always. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Ingrid, again, love that new promo. I hope you guys out there agree. That is a pretty cool promo. There's an emotional roller coaster with that promo. What do you guys think?
I had fun doing it.
Yeah, there's so many things that could go in there. I mean, just little snippets of hilarity.
Hilarity, is that a word?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Yeah. And also there is a fourth voice you guys are hearing. That is James, who is our social media expert. How are you doing today, James?
I'm doing all right.
Well, I don't know about expert yet. You're on your way to social media expert. At least you better be.
Matt, you'd love to call everybody an expert.
I know, because that's what I want. I want everyone to be an expert. I hope you guys are doing well out there. We got an awesome show today, as we always do. Again, remember, this show is for you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in that question comments box. Today, we're going to be talking about the number one predator I think we always talk about for the daytime, which is raptors.
Who?
Hawks. Is owl a daytime predator? It's still a type of raptor. Is an owl a raptor? Don't leave me hanging. We gotta be snappy today.
I would, if it's a predator.
I thought it was a trick question.
Yeah.
No, there is no trickery here,
all right,
other than you pulling
They-
chickens out of your purse.
They mostly hunt at night, but there are times when, like the winter, they'll hunt at dusk or it's not quite dark. So
Interesting. So things we'll talk about. So today, raptors, which is a word we don't use a lot. We always just go right to hawks. So today we have a raptor expert. And I think this is a great idea. Was this your idea, Ingrid?
Mm-hmm.
Of course it is. Great job. Because I'm assuming, I'm going to do a lot of assuming. I'm assuming that the Mathias, Mathias, from Carolina Raptor Center, so right here, local to Carolinas, is a raptor expert. And I'm not exactly sure why he's a raptor expert, but I can tell you it's good to talk to the enemy, if you will. Not that he's the enemy.
Understand your enemy.
Exactly. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. That's kind of what today's going to be, is to really learn about these predatory birds that cause so many problems to our chickens, especially during the daytime. And I'm really excited because very, very soon we're going to southern Alabama, doing our very first full-on official chicken aviary to keep out those daytime aerial predators.
That I feel like I was the inspiration for.
Always, yes.
Well, we'll say
I see
yes.
my pet bantam here is eyeing your stuffed owl.
I was going to say, I think owls
though.
You think owls and chickens can be friends, right? I mean,
I don't think
no.
so. No, I think
that's
owls,
a fairy tale.
Oh man,
that's only in Disney. Anyways, all right. So before we bring Mathias in, there is something I got to show you guys that I'm very excited about. Again, if you have any questions, comments, leave them in the section. I can't believe we're already up to 63 people. Yes, as always, do everything you can. Share the show. Keep commenting. Keep answering questions. The more you guys talk about, the more I guess YouTube says, "Oh man, something might be cool here."
Yeah. We got so many. We got someone from Yorkshire, which is across the pond.
Yeah, if you don't have any questions or comments, please wave hi. Tell us where you're watching from.
Missouri, Wisconsin.
Okay, so listen. Actually, I've already. I need my prop now. I asked for it. I said, no, we need it right now. Whoever's listening out there in the shop, in the office, I want the door. I want the whole. The door. You guys know what I'm talking about, because I want to show you guys. Ingrid, I don't think Ingrid knows about this yet. This might be a surprise for her.
Yeah. What is this that you speak of? Because I'm the only one probably listening that's going to go fit you anything.
The door that is going on the Coop to Switzerland.
Is it not packed already?
Oh, here we go. This was the final last thing we had to do. Mm-hmm. And here, there's so many great things about what we're about to talk about. One, this was a situation where here at Carolina Coops, we're like, oh my gosh, why do people ask us for these things? And yet it just makes us better. Yes. Of course, you guys knocked it out of the park. It is a great solution that other people might find this to be a problem. So we need to bring in this door. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. But also, speaking of doors, apparently I asked for something in the last staff meeting. I don't remember. And Ingrid got it done, right?
What?
Thank you, Evan. Bring it in. Attaboy. So here, just set that off to the side here.
It came.
Yeah, look at that. Yay. Bring it over here. Just don't knock the lights over. I think this might be our last time in this studio. We're going to be getting a new studio soon. Just set it down.
Keep saying that.
Set it down right over here.
No one can really tell, though. If we move, it'll be the same backdrop.
I know. It looks. Yeah, you
same
can't really
people,
tell. I could be home.
Same time.
Sitting in my underwear right now. You guys wouldn't know. Anyways. Okay. Chicken doors real quick, guys. So, love-hate relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's really...
I still love mine.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Love, love, love.
All right, so in a nutshell, if you've been living under a rock and not watching VCL Live, you're not sure what's going on right now. For years, we have sold the Chicken Guard. Was made in England, English company. Great door. Bottom line, for the price and how simple it was, the 4 AA batteries, it just worked, which is great, right? You want it to work. And next thing you know, they sold out to China. Unbeknownst to anyone. Manufacturing, yes, that's correct. And all of a sudden we ran into all kinds of problems. And it sucked that I was like, we can't sell them anymore. Because at the end of the day, our customers are buying them, getting mad at us. It's like, it's not our product. But yet, they're trusting us in our advice on what we should use. So I'll take it. My understanding is they've been telling me there's a new door coming.
Right.
This is it.
Right.
I have not opened it. I think we can open it up, check it out. I haven't had a chance to try it. Has anyone out there tried this new all-in-one Coop door opener? I tell you, immediately it scares me. Because what does that remind you of?
Yeah, that looks just like... Wow, that looks just like the one that I got from China.
For $20.
Like, no, it should have been 10.
Well,
but I paid like 80 for it.
For a piece of paper?
It was plastic.
What is so?
I meant to bring it in, actually.
Are you gonna open that up?
Should we? Should we open this up?
Should.
Or should I show? Maybe we'll get back to this. Anyone out there, if you're already using the brand new Chicken Guard, let me know what you guys think. I haven't used. All right, screw it. Let's open it up.
Yeah.
Let's open it up. Let's see what's going on here. All right.
Chicken doors are an investment, so that's why we spend so much time on them. I mean, it's the convenience. I believe the convenience is worth it.
I do too.
Could make or break your experience.
Yeah, I mean, to lose all your chickens.
All right, so upon initial observation, I like that they kept to the same color.
Mm-hmm.
Nice quality plastic. We got a network cable. That scares me.
Well, it's all in one.
What does that mean? What does all in one mean?
You're going to hook it up to your printer.
Yeah. You can do it with your Maybe you can close it with your smartphone.
Someone. Oh my God, we need an AI automatic door now. Everything's going AI. We need an AI automatic door. Which reminds me, when I go to show you guys what we have done to make another automatic door, which I'm not a fan of this. Well, I was not a fan of this automatic door. I'm also going to show you guys. Now, I'm not talking about the chicken guard. I'm talking about this other one that we made a modification to. It's going off to Switzerland. We were out there earlier testing it, and I said, oh, wait a minute. I never knew this about this door. And I said, I figured I'll wait and show you during the show. I'm curious if you know about this feature on that other door. So,
I know, you're very cryptic. Nobody knows what you're talking about. As per usual.
So here is, I don't know what's going on here.
It looks nice.
It really does.
It looks better than that $20 one / $80 one that Kristen bought.
Well built. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to give this a try, and we'll let our viewers know, our listeners know what we think of it. We'll put it on a chicken coop out there, and
and maybe
see
let
if
your
the chickens live.
out.
Social media.
Your chickens out.
Yeah, exactly, James. Exactly. So let's, here it is, the all-in-one. Thank you, Chicken Guard, for sending this to us. We didn't pay for it, so I appreciate it. I definitely want to acknowledge that. I hope to sell it, to be honest with you, but I can't sell things that are going to make my life more complicated. I'm not going to promote and support a product that's going to fail. Hopefully this new door is no longer going to fail. Now,
right. Just so you don't get everyone crazy, I have a chicken guard that I got from you guys that was probably sitting around, so it wasn't one of the ones when they moved to China, and mine works fantastic. Like, I went over a year without even... And I changed the batteries, and I still didn't need to change the batteries, but I did it anyway just in case.
Exactly. It was the greatest door.
Yeah, so I'm not having a problem.
Broke, and they decided to fix it. All right, check this out. You ready? All right, here is the omelet door. Again, they're not paying us. This is just the door that the customer wanted. Kristen, go ahead and bring up the door. I want to show you guys what we did.
So this is for a coop in Switzerland?
Yes, and... so many good things here. The bottom line is, it was a very...
What kind of coop?
A Carolina coop.
Okay.
And this is good. Oh my gosh. Only you can do this, honestly.
What's happening?
All right, I got it. Okay. So
I got tangled up in
we
the
have
door.
the omelet door. And here's what's interesting about the omelet door is it's a sideways door.
Right.
Like something you see on a Star Wars spaceship. Mm-hmm. I don't mind the door so far, and there's actually a feature I discovered this morning from playing with it that I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I have not seen this feature on any other door. First things first, customer says, this is normally the front of the door that you would see going back and forth, this gray plastic, and he says, I don't want to see any plastic. When it shuts, I don't want to see any plastic. Just that simple, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, you would think. Long story short, check out this piece. Now, it's all screwed in and assembled. Evan and Eric have designed a glue up to take several strips of wood. I don't know if you can see it there. Mm-hmm. Glue it all up in smaller strips so it's stable. And CNC it. We got some great footage, right, James?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Where it's replicating that gray piece so that when it does shut, can you hold that? Thanks. When you shut it, that it all you see is wood, is what I'm going to say. And there might be a lot of people out there like, oh, gosh, you know what, man? I don't like seeing plastic. It'd be great to see something wood. It'd be great to see something I can paint to match maybe another part of your coop, right?
Watch your fingers.
So, watch your fingers. Interesting you should say that.
Put your finger back in there and see if it doesn't crush them.
I will never forget a door we used to sell, and we stopped selling it because it killed a chicken. Mm-hmm. It killed a chicken, and the company didn't seem to care about what the customer had to say. Whew. You ready for this feature? Okay, and we're going to shut it.
Should we use Cracker Muncher?
No.
What is wrong with you?
Well, if you're that confident in the door.
Ooh.
We could have used the bird.
So what did you do there? You just press.
It has a safety feature.
Anti-kill switch.
Wait, so that was just coming out, though. What about going in?
There's a bar right here
Yeah, but
that
Okay.
if it starts to squeeze a chicken, it stops.
So if they're coming in and they're
Out.
and
the bird's like, hey, I'm just gonna hang out here at the door like Nan's mother does. Oh, it drives me nuts. You ever met those people that just stand in the doorway? It's like, hello. Bravo. I have never seen that feature on any other door. Not sure if you guys have out there.
Well, it's on the pull it shut door.
Yeah.
What's on the pull it shut
We
door?
interviewed that guy, the inventor. That feature.
I didn't ask if we interviewed him. I'm pretty sure I remember interviewing. Explain what's on the pull it shut. Another door we sell.
That if something hits it, it's not going to continue to close.
Right.
It has
I don't remember that.
feature.
Eric said to also just push on the door.
What do you mean push on the door?
Instead of using the bar, push on the door.
Oh, now we're getting technical. If you're just joining us, we are live. September 15th, we have Mathias from the Carolina Raptor Center. Today we are going to be talking about raptors. All right, so we're going to shut this real quick. I just wanted to share with you guys this door.
Well, you guys did a good job of making it look fancy.
It is incredible.
Yeah, and the plastic frame will be hidden.
Okay. He's right. It detects the resistance, opens back up.
On both sides.
Yes. So
What did you do? Oh, you just touched it. Oh, I see.
That's fancy.
Yeah,
All right,
is
listen.
fancy.
So there's that. Again, Omelet's not paying. Nobody pays us.
Yeah.
Well, Carolina Coops does.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to show that to you guys. What a great example of the team here. And we all said many times, this is nuts.
Well, yeah,
really? Is it that
because
big of a deal? Is he plastic?
It's only at night. So
True. Good point. But it just made us that much better.
But this guy is going through the trouble of replacing his roof with oak tiles.
Here's what it looks like when we milled it out of high density, just so you guys get an idea. I'm not sure if you can see it.
That's our template.
Yeah, and I guess that's an example. We could do it out of acre. We can do it out of high density. But yeah, this was the test piece.
We could brand or something the front.
Yep.
Is your farm name?
I hate to be a little bit of an advocate, but is it a little concerning that door just keeps shutting even if something gets in its way? It goes back and just keeps
Well, that's what it was told to do. That's what I told it to do.
Oh, okay. So it is a setting. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Just making sure. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it. Ingrid, if you can bring Mathias in from Carolina Raptor Center. Today, guys, we are talking about raptors. We are going to learn and ask questions from a raptor expert, okay? And the reason why we want to do this is, now why is it I have to move? Why is it that I am always the one, I can only move so far?
All right, Kristen.
How about that?
Always on
You
the
didn't
move.
move.
Well, I'm in the frame.
You're pretending.
You're out of the frame.
Matthias, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you so much for being here. Please, real quick, tell the audience, what is it you do?
So I'm a biologist and rehabilitator here at Carolina Raptor Center, which means I do a little bit of everything, including checking in new patients. We get hundreds of injured hawks and owls a year. We work with volunteers and staff and interns on site, so we're trying to rehabilitate them, get them back into the wild once they're healed. And I'm involved in lots of different aspects of that.
How long have you been doing this?
About 40 years.
Wow.
Okay, so you started when I was 3 years old.
He started as a volunteer there.
Volunteer when I was in college.
Have you done this the whole time you were in the Carolinas?
Yes, in fact, at the same exact location, same company.
No kidding.
Which is kind of unusual, I guess.
Oh, so let me ask you then. Do you ever have people come to you like us right now, chicken people, chicken lovers, saying, oh my gosh, my chickens keep getting picked off. What can I do?
Yeah, we do. We get some of the birds, not the chickens, but the raptors that get trapped in chicken coops.
Oh.
And they get injured trying to get back out. But we do get actually a fair number of calls every year from people just like you saying, what can I do? Can you just, make it go away? That's They want the easy answer, unfortunately.
Well, that was going to be my first question. What can we do to make it go away? What's one of the things we come to you? I keep losing my chickens. Let's assume we're free ranging, right? Especially if you're using a Carolina coop. We're free ranging, and of course, what I'm trying to get at is all the myths. We need to find out. I want to hear from you certain things if it's true or not. But what is your number one advice to keep your chickens safe from raptors?
Right. So unfortunately, it goes back to what you said is free roaming. As soon as they're free, they basically become a buffet for raptors. You're asking them, you're putting out food. They can't tell the difference between a rodent, a rabbit, a quail, any of those wild animals that they might eat in the wild. Depends on what species of hawk you're talking about or owl, but you can't teach them that a chicken is different from those wild animals. To them, they're all food.
Well, do they have a favorite?
Every bird probably does at some point. I would not think that chickens are their favorites. It's just that it's easy. They're looking for the easiest meal.
Oh, opportunistic then.
Yeah.
So
that's an
the harder you
interesting
make
point.
it,
Yeah.
right.
What
The harder
about
you make it for them, the less trouble you're going to have. But as long as they're out in the open, lots of them, dozens, that's too easy.
Are raptors, particularly hawks and I guess owls as well, are they triggered by the movement? Is that what tells them that there's prey there?
They have an image in mind, and they see something that looks like food to them, but certainly movement would be part of it. Probably hearing it as well in some cases.
Okay.
But you're making it hard on them. You're putting out food and you're telling them. Well, you're not really telling them. You're assuming they're not going to come and eat it.
Okay, so I got to ask then, because we get asked this all the time. What can we do to keep raptors, predatory birds, from picking off my free-range chickens? And I'm dying to hear your opinion on some things. So the one recently that has come to my attention that I'm like, oh, we saw this the other day, actually. Is it true that you could prevent an attack from a predatory bird if you have in your flock a black chicken?
I've heard of that recently, but I am not aware. I haven't seen any evidence one way or the other that makes a difference.
Interesting. Okay. So now we were at a customer's house.
Wait, is the black assuming that they're going to confuse this little black bird for a crow?
I'm getting there.
Yes.
I'm getting there. Okay, you ready?
Or just that it's not easily seen from the air? I have heard that it's better to have black chickens than white chickens. For instance, like if you have meat birds, get the black ones versus the white ones.
Because it's harder for them to spot that it's a easy food.
Yeah, like a white silkie is going to stick out like a sore thumb.
Any silkie is going to stick out.
Well, I mean,
like
that was one of the reasons why I wanted to get a white silkie, and I was like, well, this is just going to be hawk bait at this point. It can't get away.
Yeah, we do call those hawk bait. Yeah,
Well, okay, so here's what we saw the other day at the customer's house. And I'd never seen this before, but it goes along with my next question, which I'm a fan of. I want to believe this is true. I've seen it with my own eyes. Is the use of crows, whether they're real or a decoy. She actually had fake decoy plastic crows out in her yard. She said she had to move them around because they will eventually learn. I'm assuming that that's just plastic. But can you tell us, is there some truth to crows, ravens? Is there a difference between crows and ravens fighting off predatory birds in a certain area?
I think it might help to some extent, but these birds, the hawks that you're trying to keep away, they're going to learn pretty quickly that these are not real birds. So yes, moving them around will probably help some, but sooner or later, unless you're moving them every half hour, there's a hawk perched in a tree somewhere near your coop watching this and saying, well, this crow's not moving. He's not calling. He doesn't have any friends with him.
Right, that's interesting.
Think it's gonna work for long.
And then you see some lady come out and move them.
So what about real crows and ravens? Because I've seen them. Even small, maybe starlings or sparrows. You see these small little birds attacking this large bird, and you would think, well, that doesn't seem right. Yeah. But talk to us about that.
That happens a lot. It's called mobbing. So lots of smaller birds do that, and crows do that, and they can usually get away with it because they're more agile. They're a little bit quicker on the wing, so to speak. They take a chance every time they do this, depending how close they get. but it works. It's supposed to drive the raptor away. So if you could train a bunch of crows to hang out, potentially that might work. I don't know how you do it.
So is it true then that the crows are protecting their eggs? That supposedly the hawks are coming for the eggs?
Or territory?
Oh, they're young, right? They're trying to keep them away from, probably during nesting season, from their young, which are easy prey. Not necessarily the eggs. Raptors typically don't go after the eggs. But yeah, they're trying to drive them away from their whole territory, including the nest site.
Oh, so it might be territorial.
Yeah. And also, I think it's important to mention that not all hawks will, or even all raptors will carry off a chicken. That doesn't mean it's not going to swoop down and still kill or injure the chicken, correct?
Yeah. Does the size of the chicken matter?
It does, because, yeah, you're right. The average large raptor, I'm speaking for the Carolinas, we have a red-tailed hawk, which would be the largest hawk in the area. It only weighs about 4 pounds maximum by itself, which means it physically can't pick up a chicken that weighs more than itself. Absolutely right. It can injure it. It could kill it on site and then eat part of it, but it's not going to fly off with it.
Would the hawk prefer a smaller bird that it could take with it?
It would be an easier meal, and if it is successful the first time, it's going to learn over time. Oh yeah, this is food. Whereas if it's having a hard time, I'm not a chicken expert, but I'm guessing like a rooster, for instance, could actually defend itself fairly vigorously, could injure the raptor. That is going to be a negative experience for the hawk, and he's probably going to say, oh, maybe I'll stay away from these guys. They're a little too big for me. This is how young hawks learn, and owls learn what to hunt to some extent anyway. Their eyes are usually bigger than their beaks. They tend to go overboard when they're young and don't know their own limitations at some point. They'll learn over time that, yeah, this is too big for me. I can't deal with this.
So speaking of learning, I've also heard, and I don't know if it's true, that hawks can be more they're more out to hunt in the morning and at dusk.
Active,
or is it
maybe?
More active in the morning and at dusk versus the middle of the day? I didn't know if that was true or not, because I kind of see them wherever. Is there any truth to that? Do they hunt more like get up, it's time to go, or is it just throughout the day, whatever opportunity comes their way?
It probably depends to some extent on the type of hawk, but it's probably some truth to that. They'll get up, first thing in the morning. They don't waste time. They want to get and find food. If they catch one meal that's big enough to feed them or their family the whole day, that's all they need to do. Catch one meal, they're done for the day, they rest. They can't afford to waste energy, so they're not going to fly around just randomly once they've caught that meal. So I think that there's probably some truth to it. If they catch something early, they're done. They're taking a break the rest of the day.
Okay, so there is some truth to that. So that's
chickens do. Chickens eat most at like dawn and dusk. And the rest of the day, they casually graze.
Okay. Now, is there also? I know we're speaking very general because every different types of hawks could be different. But I also remember hearing that I think in the fall time is when it could increase because the juveniles are finally out also hunting. Can you? When is there a certain time of year that they might be more? There might be what I call predator pressure. That there might be more pressure.
You're right. There's several times. So one I would say is during late spring, early summer, when they're raising their very young babies. These baby hawks and baby owls eat huge quantities of food because they grow up from egg to full size in about 8 weeks. You can imagine
Wow.
that. Eggs to full size in 8 weeks. So if a red-tailed hawk has 3 young in their nests, they're going to be catching a lot more food than they would during the rest of the year just to keep those mouths fed. So late spring, early summer is a peak season when they're going to look for other food sources. This includes the owls. Somebody mentioned in the beginning, even the owls could be hunting during the middle of the day just because they're forced to. They got to find extra food. They got all those babies to feed. And then late summer, early fall is when the adults kick all their babies out. They got to go find their own territory. No more free meals. So that's when the youngsters who are inexperienced have no clue what they're doing at this point. They're going to try to go after anything, whether it's a little tiny field mouse or a full-grown chicken that they physically can't do much with yet. While they can injure it to some extent, but they're not experienced yet. So they're going to go for unusual food until they learn their limitations. And then late fall and the winter, you have birds from the northern regions of the country moving into the Carolinas. They're going to be competing for the same food source that the local resident birds are using. And there's less food available because some of that food has migrated south. They're down in, Central South America maybe. So there's less food available and more hawks looking for food. So there's definitely competition. So
okay, wait a minute. So hold on, that's interesting. I didn't know hawks also migrate. I just always kind of assumed like geese and ducks and things like that. But even, does every hawk migrate from the north, or is it just certain species?
So,
the smart ones.
It depends on where they live. Like we have red-tailed hawks here in the Carolinas. They don't have to migrate. There's plenty of, a reasonable amount of food left for them. But the birds up in Canada, the northeastern states, they're probably going to have to leave. There's not enough food there. There's snow cover. So they're coming south. They're coming to our area to spend the winter here, competing with our local birds. And some owl species migrate as well. Not our local species, but some owls migrate as well. They leave the northern regions, come south. And some birds actually just literally pass through here on their way south. You might see them just for a month in September, and then they're gone again because they're passing through. So those could be some of the problem birds. They're not familiar with the territory. They're just cruising overhead, and all of a sudden they see a flock of chickens. Say, hey, I might stop by here and see if I can catch something.
Yeah, that's interesting. So now we're going to be doing, and I've done this once for chickens. I used to do this for a living, which was bird exclusion, which I absolutely love, putting up some form of physical barrier to keep, in this case, it was pest birds like pigeons out. What?
Nothing. I have a pet pigeon.
She took umbrage at pigeon being a pest.
Sorry, my bad. I love doing it, and we're going to be going down to Alabama where this particular customer's had a lot of her chickens lost due to hawks.
Which is weird because she has geese.
She does now. She got the guardian geese, and that still wasn't a foolproof, which we knew, but she said it did help.
Okay.
We're going to be putting in a full netting job, and I was going to default to my normal net, which is 3/4 by 3/4. And I thought, well, maybe we don't need to go that small because I'm not trying to keep pigeons and, say sparrows out. We're trying to keep the larger hawks out. When I talked to our expert that sells the net, if you will, I was thinking we're going to go 2 by 2. And he said, no, you might want to go 1/8 by 1/8. And I thought that was an interesting size, why they threw in that extra 1/8. But he mentioned it
was a tiny hawk.
Was it a chicken hawk or what?
No, it was smaller than a chicken
Cooper's hawk?
No, smaller than that.
So I wanted to ask you if
it was a sparrowhawk. Is that a thing?
No, it was.
What is it?
There's a bird called a sparrowhawk, but it's actually not a hawk. It's a falcon. It's called an American kestrel, but it's tiny.
Oh, that's what he was talking about.
Cardinal.
Right.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, it's no danger to a chicken. What's a cardinal going to do on a chicken?
Right. Okay. So that's what I wanted to ask is,
interesting.
If our viewers out there, our listeners right now are like, I'm going to put up a net and I want to keep out all the predatorial birds. And let's say, we're listening in the United States. I know there's going to be different species, but what size barrier, what size opening would you want for that netting, if you will?
Good question. I mean, the birds you most have to worry about would be something like a Cooper's hawk. They live on birds. Cooper's hawk and up, that size up. A 2 by 2 inch square would let them get their head in there, but nothing else. They couldn't squeeze through there.
Right.
So 1/8 by 1.
I would go a little smaller than 2 by 2 just to be safe. Yeah.
Cool, and that's exactly what he said. And I said, okay, that makes sense because we didn't want to go. 3/4 by 3/4 will work. But that might be more net than we actually need. And plus, it's going to be heavier. We're going to be spanning a large opening.
You might have that visual. It might be.
Yeah, and we're pushing the limits. Like, this is going to be an unbelievable job when it's all said and done. And when he mentioned I wish we could really remember that species of hawk.
It was the
sparrowhawk, which is the falcon.
Okay, now let's hold on.
But I have a better memory than you do.
Let me explain, show off. Why would he say, wait a minute, you got this particular hawk that could attack chickens, so you're going to want to go down to 1 by 1.
But that's the
But
netting
Mathias
guy.
just said, okay, well, maybe. Said, no, it's the size of a cardinal.
He sells net and you fell for it.
I don't think it was is that what it is?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, he's
I
selling
don't think
the neck.
it was sparrowhawk.
So maybe well, I guess what Mathias is saying is that if a hawk can get through that size, it's not going to be able to do any harm to your chickens.
Right.
So maybe it's just
Or
regardless
even
of
just
what.
its head.
Oh, and the bird netting guy wouldn't know that. He just
Right.
knows that there's a tiny hawk out there
that could get in there.
Mathias just mentioned Cooper's hawk, and I see here that Cooper's hawk is about 15 inches long with a wingspan of 29 inches.
So speaking of wingspan, and here's where I definitely want to get into.
Definitely get into that.
You know,
that's on my list.
Again, always talking about what can we do. You know, we want the magic solution for everything. And another thing that I've seen people do, it's not a guarantee, but it makes sense to me, going back to my bug days where we used to try to keep galls out of parking lots, we would make like this giant spider web, we call them guide wires, from light to light to light. And in theory, and what I need to know, Mathias, is this really going to work? Is it in theory at least true that when a predatory bird comes in, they start to soar, they're spreading their wings out, coming in, oh, that looks good. But if they clip their wings, it's a deterrent, so they fly off. Is that true?
I mean, certainly if they can see it, they will try to avoid it. You know, if your string is really thin, it's hard to say. But also, when they're coming in, they're not going to be soaring. They might be soaring way up high, looking initially.
They're dive bombing like
when they're
this?
coming in, they're diving, and they're folding their wings in, making them much smaller in diameter than with a red-tailed hawk has a up to 5-foot wingspan. When he's folded down, it's going to be about a foot wide at most. So
Interesting.
you'd have to either put the netting, the wires much closer together. I don't know. I unfortunately we don't get the feedback from the calls that we take. We don't get much feedback later on saying, yeah, this worked or this doesn't work. So I'd love to hear things that have worked for certain people, so we can pass on these ideas to others.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so everyone can live happily.
That's right.
And two things I wanted to. Well, one I wanted to mention and one I wanted to ask. One is that it is illegal to shoot any kind of raptor. So all these people, I just, whether
any type of raptor or any type of
predatory bird.
We were always taught any bird that is a migratorial bird is federally protected. And that was one of the reasons why I thought it was interesting that he said that even some of these raptors will migrate. I was like, okay, if they are officially migrating, that might be why they're protected. Or is there? Can you expand on that?
Yeah.
Can you speak to that?
Yeah. Educate us so we don't get ourselves in trouble.
Right. So actually, every native species of bird is considered migratory in this context. So every bird, from a robin to a hummingbird to a raptor to a goose to you name it, is protected by those same laws. The exceptions are the non-native species, which there's only a few, like European starlings. It's an invasive bird. Those are not protected. So legally, you could do away with them, and you're not
English house sparrow. I hope.
Probably.
Did a lot of them. Yeah, they come from England. They're actually a finch. But wait a minute. So all native birds to North America are federally protected.
Well, we have a hunting season for some of those, don't we?
Right. So you'd have to have a permit. There's crow season. There's waterfowl seasons. There's different seasons for different things. You'd have to have a permit and have to hunt them within season
That's
in a certain
probably
area. But outside of those seasons, all birds are protected.
Okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, that's the easy answer. The easy answer is not to remove the bird, unfortunately.
Right.
Because you have to have a permit to do that legally, to catch them alive and remove them. It doesn't really fix your problem, because you could move a bird 100 miles. He can be back in 2 days. He knows exactly where you are.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's always another bird.
There's always another bird. So you're just emptying a territory, and somebody else is looking and say, oh, there's nobody living here. And there's a buffet waiting for me. So there are no easy answers, unfortunately. But and I was interested to hear about the geese that you mentioned, that somebody has geese that helps them keep raptors away. We've heard through the grapevine about everything from guinea fowl and peacocks to even guard dogs like Great Pyrenees being around. Is that true? Can you enlighten me on what works in that case?
Yes, nothing's guaranteed, and with the right training and or the choice of animal, in this case if it was a guardian goose, that you're, I guess, taking advantage of their instincts to protect the flock. There's more to it. One of the ones that I always thought was fascinating when it comes to a guardian goose is you got to keep it just that. If you want a animal to protect your chickens like a goose, you don't want more than one or they're going to care less. But if that goose is by themselves, it's part of that flock and will do supposedly a good job protecting chickens, but definitely was not guaranteed, unfortunately, in this case. Definitely livestock dogs like the Pyrenees.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of great things about that.
But not everybody has. I mean, it's if you have a farm, yes, but a lot of our customers have just, they have a house dog that might be good, but might not live outside with the chickens all day.
I have noticed that having a dog does, I think, have some sort of protection. I mean, if you have a dog in the yard, I think a hawk would be less likely to go in that immediate area because there's a large animal there.
Right.
Just like a person, if there's a person standing there, it's not impossible, but it's less likely. And that's what we're trying to do is mitigate the risk.
Right.
I also think having a lot of vegetation and things where chickens can hide. If they see the hawk coming, they hear it. I've noticed that they absolutely have great instincts, and a lot of times I just let the chickens do what they're naturally inclined to do, and that's take shelter. So I like to have a lot of vegetation, low vegetation. They can dive under the porch, the deck, back in the coop.
Yep.
Well,
it's not foolproof. I've had a hawk come in the coop too, in the run.
What I was going to ask Mathias is what else can people do? Okay, obviously you said, in the beginning, don't make it easy for them. Okay, good. That makes sense. Are there other things? I mentioned the guide wire as an example.
I heard the shiny, so they said a flash of light, like if you hang CDs. This is another one of those like moving the owl, the fake owl type of thing. It's the flash of light, or if you hang like CDs all over
reflective ribbons.
Yes, that deters. Is there any truth to?
I don't know. I have not heard about the CDs in this context before. We've always thought about if you see a bird hanging around a favorite perch, remove that perch. If they're always perching on one tree limb, and you can live without that tree limb, take that tree limb out. Or if there's a light post in your yard, one of those 30-foot utility poles, and that's where they sit, make it uncomfortable to sit on top of it.
That's a good point.
We've thought about, for nighttime especially, is installing spotlights that shine up, that basically blind the predator. You could make them motion sensitive, for instance, to make it a little more, make it more difficult.
That's interesting.
Let's see, what else was
so let me ask this then. What are raptors scared of?
Larger predators. Really, that's it. They're the top predator.
Yeah.
So if you have a red-tailed hawk, there's really nothing else that would scare him except maybe a great horned owl, about the same size bird that could take it,
which would still be
at night by surprise.
So not even like dogs or foxes or coyotes would go, or the raptors are just too agile for them.
Yeah, I mean they're going to try to stay away from each other. They're avoiding each other because they don't want the conflict that could result in injury, for instance.
Also, can you talk about vultures? Because people, you often see vultures flying overhead, and people will say that like they've gone after their baby chicks and things like that. So can you talk about vultures? Because we know that they are carrion birds, right? They like dead things.
Right. They prefer dead things. They're nature's cleanup crew. Personally, I've never heard of vultures in the context of chicken coops. We hear them from farmers talking about going after the afterbirth around the farm, and possibly even young cows. But that's pretty extreme. They prefer something easy to eat, which is already dead.
Right.
Which is why you see them along the roadside so much. So I don't see vultures being interested in chicken coops really at all.
I don't either, but I think people just see a large bird flying around and they get nervous.
And it's what they do when they take advantage of air currents called thermals when they're trying to save energy when they're going from place A to place B. And they tend to be in groups, whereas most of these other birds we've been talking about are single hunters, one hawk and one owl. Vultures tend to be in large groups, which is a little more intimidating, seeing 10 or 15 of them circling over your farm. I can see their point, but they're looking for something dead to eat. They're not interested in dogs,
alive.
cats, chickens, anything like that.
Is there a way that you can identify, besides that they travel in groups, is there any other way to identify whether what's above your chicken yard is a hawk versus a vulture?
So the vultures in our area, well, there's really just two kinds of vultures in most of North America, which is the black vulture and the turkey vulture. So if you see a bird that it's mostly dark underneath, that would more likely be a vulture or a bald eagle if you're in, along here, or a golden eagle out west. Most hawks are white or cream tan underneath. So if you see a bird soaring, you look up and it's tannish in color, it's going to be a hawk, not a vulture. But if it's dark brown or almost black, it could be a crow or a raven, but most likely it's a vulture if it's just gliding along, not flapping.
So let me ask you this thing. Here's another thing that I have had people mention that I read and hear two different things. One, to start off, what is the difference between a hawk and an eagle?
I mean, it's mostly size. They're very similar by design. They go after similar foods, but looking at them physically, they look very similar. An eagle would just be a larger version of a hawk, so to speak.
Would it be
Some
true?
slight differences.
Would it be okay? Then would it be true to say that eagles tend to be more like fishermen, that they really prefer the fish? And if so, then a lot of people are like, well, I got all these eagles around here. I'm not saying an eagle may not pick off an easy picking of chicken, but I just always wondered, is it less likely to have an eagle attack on your chicken flock versus a hawk attack?
Oh yeah, I would say much more, much less likely.
Okay, why is that? Okay.
Well, eagles, you're right, they typically are fish eaters, although they can adapt to whatever is found in the area. So there are places out west where there aren't no fish, and bald eagles still live there. They've adapted to hunting something else. But in our area here in the Carolinas, they're going to be near water looking for fish, maybe not exclusively, but almost exclusively. So I've never heard of an eagle going after chickens either. It's like vultures.
Okay, good. See, I thought there was some truth to that.
What about falcons? I mean, falcons are, and what's the difference between like a falcon? They're like a difference between a falcon and a hawk, for instance.
Right. So they're adapted for a different lifestyle. Falcons are made for much faster flight because they're chasing after things like birds. So most falcons, the larger falcons, go after birds. Fortunately for the Carolinas, unfortunately, depends on how you look at it, there are very few large falcons in the Carolinas. There's only one that's native, that's the peregrine falcon, and you can probably count their nest sites in the state on two hands. So there's very few peregrines, and they're not even as big as a red-tailed hawk, so they could go after chickens potentially, but again, the chance of one being around here is so rare.
Right.
I wouldn't worry about it. The smaller falcons, we already talked about, a little kestrel, literally, 10 inches long, not going to go after it.
Is there a lot of falcons in Atlanta?
There's a whole bunch, congregated in this one area.
Dirty birds.
So, guys, if you're just joining us today, yes, we are live. It's
Wait,
September 15th.
Reference?
Yes, it
is.
was. We have Mathias, who is he's from the Carolina Raptor Center. He is a biologist, which I think is awesome because then they're really smart. They're very scientific. They really base their answers on evidence, not an opinion, usually. So that's one of the reasons why I love when people say, a biologist, they go in and they study. They really want to know the truth. And you've been doing this for 40 years at a rehabilitation center. What got you into rehabilitating falcons, hawks, predatory birds?
I was a student, a freshman in college, and Carolina Raptor Center was started at the campus of UNC Charlotte. And I got my first look at a live hawk and live owl because they had birds on display that could not be released. That's part of our education program. We save some birds for captive life so we can show people up and close what they look like, to learn to appreciate them. I know you're looking at them as the enemy.
Sure.
I'd like to think that we can coexist.
Yes.
So I like to make people appreciate what they're looking at. Again, learning about them. What is it? What does it do? What does it eat? That's my first glimpse, and I got hooked talent, you could say, right there.
No, so you just mentioned, and that's exactly it. Yes, I know a lot of people look at hawks when you have chickens as the enemy, but the reason why we do this show is to educate, and I am a big believer in coexisting. I'm a big believer in just take some time, understand what's really going on, and quite frankly, it seems like more times than not, us humans screw it up. It's our fault why we're having problems. And again, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's why we want to do this show. This is why we like to bring the experts on, so that hopefully viewers, listeners are listening to it and going, oh, okay. You know, I'm going to go plant some bushes today then, and instead of going and shoot that hawk or whatever, because they serve a purpose, just like snakes.
Yeah.
You know, they serve a purpose. Ingrid, I wasn't sure. I haven't had a chance to go through the questions or comments. If there's any questions or comments directly.
I have a question.
Oh, so that is Nan, just so you know that everyone hears.
Hi.
Right there. She is the boss. Go ahead, Nan.
Well, I hear a homeschool field trip opportunity here because I am also a fan of the look of raptors. I like their pants. So I was just wondering, I know he said that there are some birds on, I hate to say on display, but for learning purposes, and where we could potentially go to do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Is that possible?
It is. So yes, we come to schools with our birds, but we also have a nature trail on site. So if you go to our website, carolinaraptorcenter.org, you can find out both opportunities. But we're open right now still 7 days a week to the public. You could come out, walk our trail. There is an admission fee. This is how we make money, part of our way of making money. And you can see about 30 different species of raptors and some other non-traditional birds. You wouldn't consider them raptors. For instance, we have a red-legged Siriyama. We're just trying to branch out a little bit, show people variety. But we have a condor on display. If you've never seen a condor, that's a huge bird.
Yeah.
So you can see them relatively up close, talk to our staff, our volunteers that are roaming the trail, have some real cool experiences while you're here. Just go to the website and find out the hours. And also, if you happen to find an injured bird, that's a good way to get started.
Okay. Oh, that's a great question, Nan. I was kind of wondering that myself, because I wish I would have had this when I was younger, because I am just such a huge fan of I'll never forget seeing my first bald eagle. And it's just amazing, especially their eyes. There is something, it's just absolutely incredible to see them up close.
They are very visual creatures. Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
So, Ingrid, I see you've been monitoring some questions.
I'm just looking. People are mostly commenting on. So Laura said that she did the CDs things and it didn't keep the birds out of her tomatoes. So, and I think with all these things that are like tricks, there's a risk. There's a risk it may not work. And some people will swear it works, like the black chickens or something like that. But you're still taking a risk because it's not tried and true.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's just about mitigating the risk, because unless your chickens are enclosed, they're at risk. And it's just your risk tolerance.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. Okay. What is the difference between a hawk and a buzzard? I mean, what isn't a buzzard a type of vulture, or is there a difference there?
A buzzard is a vulture, yes.
Right.
Okay, so there is no difference
word.
there, just different word. Okay.
Okay.
Good question. Okay. Yeah, this is our opportunity to get our facts straight, so we can actually,
terminology.
when we go to talk, it makes it sound like we know what we're talking about. So cool. All right. I didn't know. I didn't know if a buzzard would be something different.
So I feel like we talk a lot about the climate and how they and how they move and stuff like that. But I'm curious, is there anything geographical that aerial predators stay away from, right? Like dense areas, maybe shadowy areas, mountains, anything like that, or they just kind of go wherever they have food?
Suburban areas.
Food, no. You'd be surprised how many raptors live in suburban and almost urban areas. There are red-tailed hawks nesting along the inner loop in Charlotte and hunting along I-277. So they're very adaptable. But the habitat really depends on the species. As far as what they're staying away, no, they're going to find a way if they can. The traditional habitat model doesn't always work because we're changing habitats so much that they have to adapt or they're going to die out.
Right.
So, or move on. So, any spot, whether you live in downtown Charlotte or in a rural Union County next door, there are raptors around. So there's not a safe spot, so to speak, in
No.
terms of how to keep your chickens from
I
becoming
had
potentially prey.
we had hawks that nested in the tree across the street. Live in the city of Raleigh, but it's pretty suburban. So I said, I'm from New York, so I said, this is like raising a family across from the deli. Like, they had two eggs, two birds that they raised, and they were right across the street. And I kept my chickens under fencing, so they were under the netting during that whole time. And then I actually saw one of the fledglings literally fall from the sky. I was at the guy's house across the street, and I'm talking to him, and I just see in the corner of my eye, I just see this large bird just plummet. And it's like, it's unbelievable. It's like the mom was like, all right, you're on your own now. And and they really don't. And it was weird because it was like upside down. It was kind of
like free falling?
Yeah, it was basically free falling. And I was so worried. And I have a friend who is a wildlife rehabber. And I just was like, is the bird okay? And she's like, yes. I said, we made her come look. But he said, no, it's fine. That's what they do. They're fine. So.
Mathias, thank you so much for what you're doing out there. Thank you so much for joining us on today's show. Please take the opportunity. One thing I want to do for all of our guests, we're taking the time to sit here and answer all our questions. Let us know what shirt size you are. Let Ingrid know if you wouldn't mind sporting a Carolina Coop shirt. It's the least we can do to say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Thanks
for all
having
your.
me on. I appreciate it.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for the knowledge.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye.
I get you back here.
So I learned a lot more than I thought I was going to be honest
that
with
was
you.
very
And again, it just goes to show the value that even someone that may not be a chicken expert, but if they're an expert on the thing that we have to learn about so we can do the right thing, that was just such a great opportunity
like a
to
Tic Tac?
do just that. What do you mean? No, I'm good. What is that?
I like
It's a little raptor.
It's cute.
Isn't it cute?
Because of the legs, it's a raptor.
And it's wearing a necklace.
That's a predatory. So I wanted to make sure I answered Laura's question. She even asked twice. She's like, make sure you answer what's up there. Absolutely, 100%. We are videoing. We're going to video every step of the way. I'm going to take this opportunity. We're probably going to lose money on this job because I want to capture and show you guys.
You guys are killing me.
I know, dude. It's been a long week. You wouldn't believe what goes on to try to make sure keep the prices down. Anyways, yes, we're going to video and document the installation of the bird netting job 100% because we're going to do it professionally. And what I mean by that is there's going to be certain things we're going to talk about why we chose what we chose and how we're going to put it in, how we're going to install it, and the things you got to think about. Because like number one, anytime you're putting in bird netting, the most common mistake I see is they choose the wrong color. You would think that getting white is going to be less visible. It's actually most visible because it's reflecting the light. It's black. You actually want to use a black net, and it absorbs the light just like the screen on your windows, just like the hardware cloth on our chicken coop is almost see-through. I've always said, you did a good job when you can't see the net from a certain distance. Now, one of the tricks to make sure that you don't see it as easily is also what makes sure that if you do see it, it looks really good, is you have got to make sure that net is tight. And I'm talking tight like a guitar string. This job coming up, what's going to make it unique is typically when you're installing this bird net job, say you're walking in the Costco, if you just look up, I guarantee it's netted off. That's what I'm talking about. But in that case, you got all that solid structure to anchor your wire to. We don't have that. And this is what's going to make this tricky. And I think the ideas that we have are going to solve a lot of problems, make it real easy for people that want to DIY it, or of course give us a call, because I want to have a whole nother department, a whole nother travel crew. That's all they do. They're the experts to show up on site and actually build you a beautiful aviary to keep these predatory birds out.
I think that sounds great.
Thanks, Kristen.
Good job.
All right. So it is already 1 o'clock. We broke 100. Thank you so much. We are live September 15th, 2023. We just got done talking about raptors and predatory birds. What is one of the things that you learned in
I
that?
was just about to ask that.
Oh.
Well,
I am
learned-
just happy to confirm that eagles are most known for catching fish. That is something that I've always thought, always been told. And of course, like he said, out west, they're going to adapt. But, you know, a lot of people are like, I got eagles. It's like, well, then you're good. Don't worry about it.
Well, I wouldn't say that you're good. It's not that that's not their first.
Yeah.
That's not their first choice.
I didn't know about the seasonal aspect of the feeding.
The seasonal thing was really interesting. And the one thing that because I have just wire on part of my enclosure was that when they swoop and they soar, that they actually tighten up their body. So
and that makes sense. Yeah. I also thought it was fascinating that all Native American birds, North American birds, are protected.
Yeah.
And are considered migratorial, I think he said.
Yeah, I think raptors specifically have extra protection.
Yeah, you can't just go killing them.
Yeah, with that being said, I like the solution where he was like, you know, if they're always going to one branch, just take that branch away.
That was it, or make it so they don't want to perch on there.
Yeah,
because you don't want to
like
start
that.
hacking away tree branches or whatever.
Right.
That is interesting. Yeah, you could put bird spike up there. I bet
Anything.
you they won't like that. You can put some hot track, hot foot. There's all kinds of interesting things you can put on there.
How about the Batman summons light?
Right?
Oh yeah, the light.
What are
Shining the light
raptors
straight
afraid
up.
of? Batman.
I don't get it. Is that supposed to be a joke?
The light that you shine up into the sky.
Right. Well, he said that. Okay, that's what I wasn't sure. So, Laura, yes, we will be filming the bird netting job, and I think you guys are gonna love it. Speaking of filming, so happy. We're getting very consistent with the social media again. Also getting very consistent with getting videos, long format videos. We had a long format video go out last Saturday, right? I think it was Saturday. We're trying to
ladders.
Yep. Ladders versus ramps.
I liked that one.
Yeah. What did you think about
I
it?
thought that was great.
Why?
I especially liked the intro. I thought that was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was
You're
very
full of it. Did you really
informative.
watch it? What was informative about it?
Just, I mean, it was well showcased, the differences.
Yeah, Paul did a good job. I told him he did a really good job on that.
Thank you. Yeah, we are trying to learn how to not only give you guys really good content, things to watch, but also make it look good.
Yeah, the different shots.
I was
noticed
quite impressed
yeah.
how good that shot looked when we were inside a paint booth of all places.
It's nice to see the paint booth.
Yeah, if you guys have ideas out there, things you want us to get on video in long format form, or even social media, short form, and all those reels and stories, definitely don't be scared. Let us know. What video does he have coming out this week?
So we were talking about it. Get ready for another Coop tour. There's going to be another Coop tour video, the second one. So I don't want to release too much, though.
Okay, I like that. You're learning.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Second one, is that the replica custom coop we went to?
Muskrat.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to that one. I waited a lot. If it's what I think it is, I waited a long time to finally go out and see that coop, and she just did such an amazing job with all the decorations. That's the one that, okay. Oh, yeah, that's going to be cool. I think I was on my A game that day.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you didn't have anything to get off your chest that day?
You're always on your A.
Yeah, okay. I tell you, I've been on my A game this week. I'll tell you that. All right. What else we got to talk about? Questions, comments. If you guys have questions or comments, anything at all, let us know. Don't forget, too, check out the website. We have got... Did that chicken crap again?
Yeah,
What
yeah, the smell just got to you? I already cleaned it up.
Oh, God. Check out all the merch. Check out all the T-shirts.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff on the website. Not here to make money off of that. God, that stinks. Not here to make money off the T-shirts. We take the profits and use them for a good cause.
George has a question. Any progress on the nesting material, the nesting hemp stuff that you introduced
question.
a while back?
It's en route.
It's going to be here any
Oh, don't say that. I have a list of people.
600 pounds. You know what? Thank you for that question. Thank you for whoever brought it up. You said Georgia. George, thank you. We got to figure out what we're going to do. And I need your guys' help, as always. I got 600 pounds of nesting material.
Yeah, well, I have like 50 emails of people that are willing to be guinea pigs.
Thank you. I want guinea pigs, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how I don't know what we're gonna do. We're figuring out as we go. I don't know what 600 pounds of this nesting material looks
Sounds like a lot because it doesn't weigh that much.
Yeah, and it's really, really compressed.
Okay.
And what we got to figure out is, we got to get out in the hands of our customers. Let us know what you think about it. But how are we going to get it out there? Are we going to send it out in compressed bags? Are we going to go get this? Look at again. What's this chicken doing? Okay. Are we going to vacuum seal it? Are we going to send it off in like compressed bags per nest? Oh, it is 12 by 12.
I think you would be able, like, if we can somehow get.
Hold on. Did you see that?
I think so.
Did you see what I saw?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
I'll check her out.
Was that what I think I saw?
I think there was a little worm in her poo.
A little? That thing was wiggling like crazy. That's not good.
Yeah.
Does she need some diatomaceous earth?
I am going to get her some. I'm glad we were sitting here watching her poop.
This is what I just witnessed.
You have some right behind you there.
Within arm's distance.
Oh my gosh, you poor thing. Okay. Yeah, so if you are interested in trying out some new nesting material, email Ingrid at Carolina.
No. So they already did. All right, I already got everybody in a folder.
Anybody else? I want my guinea pigs.
But listen, so what I was going to say was that we could take like enough for like 3 nest boxes, for instance, and try to divvy that out and compress it, and then maybe people just pay for the shipping or something like that.
I need to know. I need to know what people think. So what if they only have 1 nest box? Should we do it in thirds? Should we do it in fourths?
Well, you would have 1 nest box, but you might want extra for when it gets kicked out or something like that. Like I have it in 1 nest box. Mitch likes it. She's molting. She likes it.
Maybe we post on social for any local people to come by.
She's got like a tickler hanging now. That's what happens to me when I have worms.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't make it weird.
Joy.
Yeah.
Joy.
Yeah.
Yes, Coop tour. We got a great video. Now, is it coming out Saturday or Sunday? Saturday at noon, right? It's supposed to. Saturday at 1?
Yeah, but this one's really special. So
really? I didn't know it's really special.
Well, look at this. Darshell got to see your coop at Jenny Mars's place. Jenny and Dave Mars's The Welcome Inn.
Oh, tell us what you thought of it.
She said it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I didn't read it that much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so and that whole property is amazing. It looks like a museum there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I love the landscaping they did. Yeah, we had to go back out there and do a follow up when it got cold for their. Are you embarrassed now?
She doesn't want to go back in there.
Yeah, I'm getting worried now. I gotta get her home. I gotta leave early today to take care of my chicken. Might have to do a little deworming.
Gotta stop by Wegmans. Laura has another question.
This is the one that she's been talking about. Will you be a vendor at the PNW Homesteaders Conference? I think that's next year.
Well,
right?
we have expand. What do you mean by come on expand? I mean, we're in the Pacific Northwest right now.
Right, but this would be like you would be there for a week.
No, I know, but I literally have a crew in the Pacific Northwest right now, and I mean, a vendor for what? The chicken coops or
the conference? The homesteaders
conference. Laura, send us the information. Let's take a look at it.
I think she did send it.
The word conference scares me because conference means like.
It means
it's all serious and stuff.
It means reading
come on,
and talking.
Reading. Ugh.
Haven't you been to a conference?
I don't think so. Maybe a
We've
parent-teacher
sat in one all
conference.
week.
Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, if she's already sent it. Yeah, I mean, I'm always game. Absolutely. Always game to do things like that. Okay. Moving on.
All right, now I'm smelling it too.
It smells so bad over here. I don't even know where to begin.
So Sparky wants to know any progress in the new shirt because he wants his shirt.
That's the one he wants. I love that. That's the one he wants.
Cluck around and find out.
Cluck around and find out.
I'm not in charge of the shirts.
No.
We have an apparel specialist.
We do. Technically 2 of them now, I guess. The artwork is underway.
Yeah, you have to do the artwork, right?
I don't. No, I just delegate now. I don't do anything anymore.
Who's doing the artwork?
Danielle.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. She already immediately, even her husband's like, send me a picture of her initial drawing after pitching her the idea.
Yeah.
Like 60 seconds later, he goes, boy, she never moves this fast for me.
She must have been excited and inspired.
Oh, yeah. That's absolutely. It's a really cool picture. She just doodled. I mean, she's the one that created the YouTube Chicken Police, and it was kind of another chicken like that, and maybe a little bit more detail would that look like. You know, like maybe The Rock, if The Rock and the chicken mixed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, the wrestler?
Yeah.
I have like 10 of those shirts. I'm going to wear one every day.
But if you guys have an idea of something different, I mean, that's a tough one. Cluck around and find out. What do you put on a shirt for an image?
Well, I think that nails it.
I think so too, but maybe there's some other ideas we haven't thought about.
Okay.
Well, drop it in the comments.
Elizabeth is asking, would a scarecrow or a scarehawk work?
What's a scarehawk?
It's like a scarecrow for hawks.
Oh, and I meant to go into more of those details, but I can tell you, I think a biologist It's like a bug guy. You get annoyed by those questions because
and he was trying to get ideas from us.
Yeah, absolutely. But hold on. When you're a bug guy, people are like, I heard mint really works well. You're like, oh, God, yeah, it works really good. No.
This is the same thing as moving chickens around.
Yeah.
And
I don't
fake
think
crows
there's
and stuff like that.
anything that you can put out as a repellent that is not real that's going to work on hawks.
What about those air things? You know, those, have you seen that
No.
in social media? The big blow up, you have an air thing, and
Oh,
a tunnel, and they look like people, and they're like bending over.
The kinds in front of like that to try to
Yeah.
get you into the car
Why-
dealership.
Yeah, the car lot
Exactly. Why
things.
didn't we ask him about that, Kristen? That's a
I just
legit
remembered
question.
it.
I think that would scare my chickens, though.
They scare me, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like my chickens, like all I do is like move a bag of feed, and they all freak out.
No,
They just- you can't
those
bear-
things, it's like,
I know what you mean.
they freak me out. It's like, oh, now he's down. Oh, now he's up. Oh,
Like
he's
if I
sitting, now he's
move
back
quick
down.
in the yard, they all freak
Yeah.
out sometimes. And I'm like, I've been here for an hour.
It's like what Matt was saying with the fans. Remember, people were saying, "Oh, you got to keep stuff away with the fans," and the fans were scaring the chickens because it's like an aerial predator. It's just these big things coming at them.
Just build a decoy coop.
They just don't know.
That is interesting. I'm wondering if anybody out there, if you've had any success. What do you call those things? Blow up dude? The blow dude?
The wiggly man.
If you guys could see
Do the
Ingrid right now.
imitation.
No, hold on. No.
You did your raptor imitation earlier.
I'm trying to do what I can for the show to keep it somewhat entertaining. Well, we just witnessed Ingrid do.
I was imitating the blow up guy. What was I going to say now? Now you got me.
I know. Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Now I'm at a loss.
Can you do dog shirts with chicken police? Oh, I don't understand. Yeah, Gene, you'll have to expand on that question. I'm not sure what you mean by that. No, not serious. It's fun. What?
Oh, this
Oh,
whole
the
conference.
conference?
She wants you to make a shirt for a dog that says chicken
No,
police.
I'm talking.
Oh, the previous person.
No. Laura, the conference. She says, no, it's not going to be. Because conference is a scary word. It's like going to school. She says, no, it's not serious. It's fun. Many well-known faces will be there, like Joe. Oh, I'm there.
Yeah.
If Joe Salt is going to be there, I'm there, dude. That guy is the man. I don't know the Amish builder.
He said,
you
I
could build
watched
a
an
coop.
Amish builder build a shed in 2 days. You could build a coop.
Build a coop on site.
Yeah, it's for people into homesteading to go to one place and look at all the vendors and all the new stuff coming out. And
Maybe we should do what we're doing with the horse venture. Maybe we go visit first. It's like Vegas. Sometimes you just don't jump in right away.
Sometimes you go once
visit,
and never
tip
again.
your toe. Yeah. No, maybe we'll go visit. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Okay. What is going on for next week? Are you here? Are you gone?
We're running out of time.
I'm here.
You guys can do the show.
Are you gone?
I think he's going to be going
It's
to
getting-
Alabama.
It's getting. My fall is
Isn't
here. Oh God, and it was cold this morning. Oof.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know if he was hinting, but my neighbor texted me and said, "Oh, it's good weather for yard work."
Is that a subtle dig?
That's from the retired guy, by the way,
Oh,
not the
God.
homesteader.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm like, yeah, I wish, but I'm going to work. Someone's got to.
That's funny. Sounds like you got some yard work to do.
It does, doesn't it? I have a few
you got
mulch piles.
Yard work, replanting grass, digging up used oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Anyways, so next week, I don't know. Nan will know more. We do got a lot of field trips coming up. We got to get to Alabama. I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Everything is here. Oh, my gosh.
Except for the posts.
You guys
Oh,
are
yes.
going to Alabama next week.
No, hold on. We got to go get all the posts for the bird job.
Right.
But the fencing material, wait till you see this stuff, Ingrid. Can we bring it in? Is that too big to bring in and show everyone? It is so much nicer than I thought it was going to be. Because we have to take her existing gates, okay, which are really, really nice. Her custom-made gates. And what's happening right now is when she walks into her chicken yard, the netting is all the way down to a gate that's like maybe this high, and so you got to duck underneath this.
Yeah, no good.
No good at all. So we're gonna add to her gates with. I got the roller. We're custom rolling the top bar and some 2 vertical bars, but we're going to attach, not nettings, I didn't think that was going to look good, actual fencing material that's 1x1, 12 gauge PVC coated.
It's pretty rigid.
It's some sweet.
I think I could stand on it.
Dude, it is gorgeous.
We have. I'm sorry. I just tried to
She's
get to the
not
comments.
impressed.
No, I'm
She's
getting. I'm
not
looking at the.
impressed at all.
See it.
I'm distracted. So Bridget has a shirt idea. Behind every chicken is a crazy chicken lady.
That is good.
I like Kristen's chicken pusher, but that's very specific to Kristen.
No, you know what? Don't forget about that. The chicken pusher. That was funny. That reminds me. Oh, here, Eric's right. Bring it on in. Bring it. Check. This is going to turn into a nightmare. Oh, you guys get a little sneak peek.
Oh my gosh,
this stuff is amazing. I don't know.
This is like hardware cloth on steroids,
dude. On steroids. This is like Ultimate Warrior on steroids.
Will it make the corner?
Probably not.
Oh my god. So what are you? So wow.
How you doing? Thank you.
Wow.
You
look at
so
that.
did that on purpose.
Where did you get that?
Because we have immunity during the show. We can't be fired.
This is available at carolinacoops.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I can take it home then?
We got a lot. We got a lot of it. You guys might not be able to see it with the green screen. Oh, no, you're messing with. Oh, what happened with the? Don't mess with the lights. Yeah, you can't see it.
Well, you can. You can get an idea of it. It's like hardware cloth.
See, here's where everything just falls apart. Now we got lights falling, lights turning off. Okay.
What's the opening on that, Matt?
1x1.
1x1.
And I'm telling you right now, that's way bigger than 12 gauge. But this is what we ordered. Maybe it was a mistake. All I know is
that's not movable. Like, how do you cut that? That's
secret. Speaking of cutting. Speaking of cutting, make sure we do that today. We're going to be coming out with a TikTok video and a regular video showing how different ways to cut screen.
Yep. Oh, good.
To cut this, you're actually not going to cut it. You're going to grind it. You're going to have to grind away.
You're not going to do like welding like in Flashdance?
I don't. What's Flashdance?
Oh, forget it.
What
kind of childhood did you have?
You have no idea.
That's another show.
Ingrid, I have waited so long for you to ask me that question. So,
which speaking of which, I had a story that I kept seeing that I was going to send you that the people that bought the Brady Bunch house are regretting it.
I heard they
saw that.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it. I heard. I would buy the Brady Bunch house in a heartbeat, but I heard they got screwed on the deal or something.
Yeah, and they just said it's just a mess, that house, like the inside, because the interior was done on a soundstage, so it was filmed on a soundstage, so the actual real interior is not as.
It doesn't look like it
did.
It
didn't.
the show.
Yeah, and it doesn't work the way you would think it would work. But
that last statement I can see. Well, hold on.
It's a split level, right?
No, okay, listen. And I got pictures. I wish we could bring it up right now.
Split levels may not work.
Love the Brady Bunch. We went there in North Hollywood to see the home that they used at that beginning shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, ooh, there's the Brady Bunch house. But yeah, they never filmed inside that house. They filmed on set, which I actually was on the phone with a person that used to actually work on set. And I was like, oh, I want some stuff. So it was a HGTV did a makeover where they actually bought that house, that actual house on 22222 Dilling Street or something like that, if I remember my Brady Bunch facts. Check me on that if I'm right on that. That just popped out of nowhere. And what a nightmare that had to be to make the inside look like what you would expect to see if you were to actually walk in the Brady Bunch house. I was impressed. I watched the whole thing. I even was Googling how can I go see it and never got to. And then why in the world did they sell it? And then they're not happy about it? 2222 Dilling Street, right? That's a real address. Or was that the fake Brady Bunch address? No, I think that was the real one in North Hollywood. Anyway, it don't matter.
Yeah.
What does Brady Bunch have to do with chickens?
Eric had a question here.
Yes, Eric. Oh, can we switch the hip roof couplet
you're thinking 11.
and our logo to a gabled roof?
Woman who bought the Brady Bunch home calls it worst investment ever.
Yeah.
$3.2 million. Did you have that hanging around to buy that house?
Wow.
That's not bad. Dude, California, outside of LA, are you kidding me? I don't know if you guys have ever looked at what homes cost in LA.
Don't.
Dude.
You can buy a shoebox for 1.5.
Yep. 11222 Dilling Street.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, that was so close.
Yeah.
That's not bad though, huh?
You were almost right.
That was good.
I was trying to. Anyways, that stinks because I would have to imagine the person that bought it is a bigger Brady Bunch fan than me. I want to go see it so badly. But anyways, okay.
I see that people are commenting that the blow up thing is
Tube Man.
The inflatable tube man.
Oh yeah.
Why
did I think of that?
Yeah, do your imitation.
It does look like.
They don't make noises apparently. Unfortunately.
You got to put more like.
Oh, we could put
upper body movement.
You could put a
into it.
voice box in one of them to like scare things away.
So I'm looking at a listing of it. It looks very much like this show.
I thought they did a great job, but here's what I can tell you from actually firsthand experience on a reality show. There's nothing real. I mean, they are geniuses at faking everything. There is not one thing real on a reality show.
The backyard.
Except for me on the one I was on, and I pulled that stunt. Nobody knew was coming. Woo! I tell you, that made me nervous for a couple seconds. I wonder if I can get the shots that didn't make it in that show. So you guys can see what really happened.
I don't think so.
We
were like we had to beg just to use like a clip on our social media, and they were like, "I didn't see anything. Use what you want."
Hold on. So Jean asked Matt, "So you don't dress up your dogs?"
So that's what she was saying. Is a chicken police shirt for your dog?
Yes,
which
for
is
your
what
animal.
I said.
Yeah, for your
Is
pet.
Matt a millennial in hiding? What's
you a
going on
millennial?
here? What am I doing here to give
You
these?
might be a millennial.
No, I'm not. I'm Gen X, right? You're Gen X.
I know, but I think
Ingrid, you Gen X?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I'm Gen X.
Are you? I'm trying to think when Gen X started. Was it like 78?
No, that's when you started. Okay. The whole world doesn't start around when you start, Matt.
Marsha fan. I liked Marsha.
I bet you did.
Yeah, I definitely liked Marsha.
All right. Do we have anything else to address before?
Anything you need to get off your chest?
I'm
Because
getting
we always
a
have
two
the
guy.
Matt.
No, I'm not going.
The
no.
Matt rant.
This whole week was, I think, a touch of a Matt rant. Almost.
You did good. You did good. You were
Yesterday-
a good leader.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Why? What did I do to make you think I was a good leader this week? Because I didn't feel good.
You listen. You listen, and you think, and you get all the facts.
Yes, you're supposed to.
He does listen.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
He is a good listener. He doesn't remember anything, but he listens.
And you listen to everybody.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I love listening because you learn so much from them, even like in this show. But yeah, I could be a good. I think I would love being a judge. Because
Because you have a gavel already.
Oh yeah, right. Well,
have you had jury duty yet?
Never. And
Never?
I hope I never do.
He's so diplomatic sometimes it's frustrating.
It drives people nuts, but you have to be.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this world go around. I love, even in this week's Carolina Coops Conclave, you don't want everyone in your boardroom at your conference table all agreeing that you're not going to go anywhere. You don't want that in life. You want the people that are going to question, challenge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So there was a question. What's the largest run you have done? Can you make a run to fit a full acre? The
Well,
largest.
yes. I mean,
We've done
anything's
40
possible.
40 feet?
Yes. I mean, yes.
The
You
Santa
can,
Fe one is the biggest.
Yeah,
right?
if we that we've done, yes, and I can tell you, if you ever wanted to run the size of an acre, what you're talking about is a giant pole barn, and it absolutely could be done. I know I've seen riding arenas that are covered that are 1 acre, and I'm like, yeah, this is just a giant chicken run, you know. I do think if you do it out of metal, I don't know. I can go on and on about that. If you are looking to have that done, give me a call.
Typically, over that size, though, people will do some combination of a metal roof, a full roof, and an aviary.
Hold on. If the Brady Bunch, I'm a sucker. As soon as I see Brady Bunch, if the Brady Bunch had a chicken coop, gosh, that would have been cool. Instead of Tiger in the doghouse, what type of coop would 78 they have? What's that mean?
Probably
just
mistype.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
just
what type of coop would they
A
have?
California coop, of course, because they're in California.
Yeah, and Gen X started at 65.
What kind of coop would the Brady Bunch have? We might design the Brady Bunch coop. Get started on that, Evan. Flash dance. And what is flash dance?
It
Is
was
what
a
the Hawks
movie.
do when
Oh
they
my
hit the ground.
gosh.
It's a movie?
Yes.
Speaking of movie, we have got to find the movie Ingrid was in. I am not giving up on that. If anyone has a hard copy of...
It doesn't exist.
No, it exists.
It
I just got to
doesn't.
order it. I'm
No.
just too lazy to go to the thrift store and get a VHS player.
Yeah, why would
I have
you?
one.
Party Incorporated. If anyone can find,
I think there's another one with that
there's
title.
There's two.
So you're not going to get the right one.
There's Party Corporation and there's Party Incorporated. And I believe the one Ingrid was in, Party Incorporated. 99. We got to find that hard copy.
You
It
know,
is
I also-
a dream of mine to show everyone.
I also did a play in the Oxford Playhouse in England, but you don't talk about that.
Because I never knew. I never knew.
Is there a VHS?
What
of that?
kind of play,
No,
Ingrid?
there's not.
Ah, that would be nice
What's
to
the
have.
question? They're I think she just fibbed a little. What was
No, it was a play. We don't have. You didn't.
Oh.
It was a play.
I thought you meant about the movie because there is a VHS. I have found it on eBay, and I just got to go get a VHS player. Do you have a VHS
Yes.
player? You do?
I have two.
All right, this is boring.
I got 'em from that
We're already
office
losing
closing.
people.
No, I
at
know,
this point.
because it's 1:30. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
Brady
Well,
Bunch.
I
We have a
assume Matt was a
mid-century
boomer.
modern.
Boomer.
Ooh, if they have a
My
T-shirt, you should take
parents-
it back.
My parents are a boomer, right? They're the baby boomers. Man, I know I look old, but dang. Guys don't watch Flashdance.
Brady Bunch
yet.
or Broody Bunch. That's what you do. You
The
do a
Broody
coop, a mid-century modern-looking coop. That's called the Broody Bunch
Good T-shirt
for
idea.
all your silkies
That's pretty good.
and bantams.
That is
The
pretty
Broody
good.
Bunch.
Oh my gosh, that's what we do. We do a Broody Bunch T-shirt that has like the 9 chickens,
Yeah.
but they're all like the kind of chickens that would go broody, like a Buff Orpington and a Silky.
No. We just do
A shirt with the silky on it?
We pick 9 people from Carolina Coops. What would they look like if they were a chicken? Who would be Alice? Who would be Mike? Who would be Bobby as a chicken or whatever? I don't know. Matt, be nice. What did I do? Okay, now I'm getting myself in trouble. All right.
Always in
So
trouble.
we are here next week.
I don't know.
Probably.
There's so much going on. I try to be. That's what I can tell you guys is we try to be
don't
here
be
every
mad
week.
if we can't make the show. Okay, we have
Well,
other
yeah,
things.
we'll let you
No,
know.
they get mad.
I know,
we get
please.
yelled at later on if we forget to post that we will not have
It
a
is
show.
nice to know. It's nice to know.
Somebody
for me, too.
said, "Oh, you should do the show twice a week." I'm like, "Do you think I just pull this out of,
Yes, you do. Actually, no, you don't. Hold on. Speaking of which, I'm glad you just mentioned that. I want to do a Sunday morning. I bet you so many more people are available to watch the live show Sunday morning.
Well,
Yeah, good luck with that.
yeah, the
reason why we do it Friday at noon is because Ingrid won't do a Sunday morning show. But can we peer pressure?
And we're already here.
Yeah, but can we peer pressure? Oh, she just left. Oh, she's coming. Here she comes. Can we do a Sunday morning show, Ingrid? Where were you? Come on over here.
Someone sent a cluck around and find out.
She asked. Oh, well, you can't hear me, but she asked on Facebook about. I have to read what she wrote, but I borrowed a photo from members in a chicken Facebook group.
Yeah, the cluck around to find out. What I'm picturing is a chicken head with the eyebrow bling.
I can't do that.
P.S. A bunch of people loved my Broody Bunch idea.
I see that. I do see that. Which temperature in 90s? How soon after being laid do I collect? Yeah, I guess we got some chicken questions, which was what
Oh,
we're
and
supposed
Bruce
to be
Fahey
doing.
says no Sundays. Football will kill you in the ratings.
Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bruce. We can't do it.
No, hold on. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Football doesn't start on Sundays till 1 p.m. Eastern.
If you say so.
You also can't battle the churchgoers either.
Yeah, there's no
And you got
opportunity
California, because we talked about doing the show at 9 a.m., but we said, no, the people in California, the West Coast, let's wait until noon. Then you know what? We're going to do a Saturday night show, like Saturday Night Live. We will start doing a show, and we'll have some drinks.
I think that might get a little bit too sassy.
No, Kristen, when she gets drinking, boy, the truth really, the filter is gone. Uh-huh. Oh, that would be fun. I think we should do that. We should do a Saturday Night Live show this Friday. Saturday.
Saturday Night Live on Friday. Okay.
All
right.
It's time to go. All right, I got meetings to go into. Thanks, guys. We will see you
Next
soon.
time.
Later.